Wait, wait! Don't you dare close that video. If you think Shane Walsh was just some deranged old friend, you might be making one of the biggest mistakes in The Walking Dead history. Today, we're throwing philosophy, drama, and that oh, my poor friend's sentimentality straight into the trash. Forget about feelings for a second. We're only talking about raw facts, the sequence of events, and tactical maneuvers. Was Shane Walsh a psychopath? Or was he the only real survival machine in the show? We're breaking it down chronologically, with new information every second. Let's start. Day 1. The apocalypse hits, and Rick is in a coma in the hospital. What does Shane do? He realizes he can't carry Rick out while the military is sweeping the hospital. He barricades the door with a gurney, preventing the walkers from getting in. Look, this was both an emotional decision and the most logical move possible under the circumstances. Shortly after, Shane takes Lori and Carl to that camp outside Atlanta. Who's the leader? Shane. Who keeps the camp organized? Shane. While Rick is still out of it, Shane has already established hunting, security, and a watch system. Now, I feel like I'm blaming Rick a bit, obviously. The guy was in a coma, and I'm a Rick supporter in their rivalry, but let's focus on the topic. We have to ask, how many people were eaten by walkers under the system Shane built before Rick arrived? 0. Rick's arrival and the first strategic mistake. Rick arrives, takes over leadership, and what's the first thing he does? He tries to go back to the heart of Atlanta, infested with walkers, to get that bag of guns. Shane was strictly against this. "You're putting the group's strongest men at risk. Our manpower is limited," he said. Rick didn't listen, and he went. The result? The camp was attacked while Rick was in the city. Ed died. Amy died. Was Shane right? Yes. Now, some might say if the guns weren't missing and Rick's group were at the camp, there might have been more casualties. But let's try to look at this from Shane's perspective. If everyone had stayed behind and fortified the perimeter like Shane wanted, maybe those walkers wouldn't have breached the camp. Bonus info. During that attack, Shane risked his own life to draw the walkers away, taking out 6 of them solo with a shotgun. He doesn't just talk, he delivers on the field. The CDC gamble. When the camp fell, Rick insisted, "Let's go to the CDC. There's a cure there." What did Shane say? "Let's go to military bases. That's where the shelters are. Scientists won't save us." They went to the CDC, and what happened? Dr. Jenner tried to blow up the building, and they barely escaped with their lives empty-handed. Shane was right again. They wasted time, wasted resources, and most importantly, the group's morale hit rock bottom. Shane's military base idea was a much more logical logistical route at the time. The highway and Sofia. Then we have that infamous scene on the highway. A herd approaches, and Sofia runs into the woods. Rick goes after her, but leaves the girl to draw the walkers away. The girl goes missing. They searched those woods for days, for weeks. What did Shane say from day 1? This search operation is irrational. A child can't survive in these woods alone for this long. You're making the entire group an open target. They walk around every day with guns, making noise. Shane wanted to stop the search because the group's ammunition and energy were draining. Now, remember we said new info every second? Did you know Sophia was actually bitten within the first few hours, right after Rick left her in the woods? So, the group risked their lives for weeks searching for a corpse. Shane's core logic was 100% correct again. The farm and the barn? The group settles on the farm. Herschel views walkers as sick people and locks them in the barn. What does Rick do? He goes along with it so he doesn't upset Herschel. There are dozens of walkers behind a wooden door that could break at any moment, and Rick is being political. What did Shane do? He went, smashed the barn door open. He took out the walkers and said, "Look, these aren't people," and shot them all in the head. That's the clarity of the situation. And who came out of that barn? Sophia, the walker they'd been searching for weeks. If Shane hadn't opened that barn, those walkers would have eventually broken out and eaten everyone in their sleep. Shane didn't just open a barn that day. He shattered the rose-colored glasses the group was wearing. The Otis situation. Regarding the moment Otis was shot, Carl is on the table, dying. They need medical supplies. Shane and Otis go to the high school, get the supplies, but walkers surround them.
Both are running low on ammo. Otis is heavy and can't run fast, and Shane's leg is injured. There were two possibilities. Either they both die there, and Carl dies on the table because the supplies never made it, or one of them lives. What did Shane do? He shot Otis, fed him to the walkers, got the supplies, and saved Carl. You might say they could have both been saved, but let's not stray from the point. Remember, we're looking at this through Shane's eyes. To Shane, Carl's life was worth more than Otis's. Randall. They capture a kid named Randall near the farm. The kid lets it slip that his group is made up of rapists and marauders. What does Rick do? He's stuck in the let's release the kid or keep him here, let's not kill him. It's a pity mindset. Shane senses the danger immediately. This kid knows where the group is. If he leaves, he'll bring his gang here and kill everyone on the farm. What did Shane do? He took Randall into the woods, broke his neck, and finished the job. He lied to the group, saying the kid escaped so he could lure Rick out alone. Why did Shane lure Rick into the cornfield? Because in Shane's view, Rick was leading this group to their deaths. The group under Rick's leadership was constantly taking casualties. Of course, this wasn't the only reason there was his love for Lori and his care for Carl. Shane thought the only way to protect them was to take Rick out of the equation. But Rick pulled a tactical ruse. He pretended to surrender his weapon and used Shane's moment of hesitation to stab him. That's the end of the sequence. Shane died. Do you know what happened immediately after Shane died? The farm was overrun by walkers and the group was scattered. After escaping the farm, what did Rick tell the group on the road? Democracy is over. If you want to live, you do what I say. That's the great irony in the final piece of information. The moment Rick killed Shane, he actually turned into Shane's mindset. Every ruthless move Rick made in later seasons against Negan, the governor, or other groups was essentially a carbon copy of what Shane Walsh advocated for in Season 2. Rick killed Shane, but to survive, he had to become a Shane. When you set aside the emotion and the philosophy, Shane was just a leader whose timing was wrong. He started applying the rules of the world long before the world reached his level. I think if he hadn't been in love with Lori, he and Rick could have found a way to agree. It's a shame we only got to see him for 2 seasons. It would have been amazing to see his war against Negan or the governor. So, do you think if Shane had killed Rick in that cornfield, he could have gotten the group to the prison and the war against the governor with fewer casualties, or would it have been worse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Goodbye.